Hello friends. So today we will go through one of the program that is very easy program, but will give you lot of idea regarding leap year. Now we will first of all see the concept of leap year, what is leap year and how leap year is calculated. Now normally in lower classes what we did that we have learned about leap year, and we call leap year, say a year is divisible by 4, then we call that year as leap year. But actually this is not the scenario, or this is not the case. Now take for example that say there is one example. If I take year 2004, so if I write 2004, then it is written in this format, and if I divide this year by 4, then this year is actually a leap year. So we can very easily divide this number by 4, and we will get remainder as 0. Remainder will be 0 in this case, and we can very easily divide, and therefore we can say that 2004 is actually a leap year. Now uh, uh, but there are certain things that we must understand, and I should clarify those issues. Like if I talk about year 2000, then year 2000 is also a leap year on the basis of only one logic. If I say that whether this is a leap year or not, so if I divide year 2000 by 4, then you can see that 2000 is very easily divisible by 4, because 4 5s are 20, and then you will get two zeros here, and very easily you can divide it. So remainder will be 0 in this case. Now if I talk about another year, that is say year 1900. So if I talk about year 1900, so 1900, if you see the 1900, if you divide it by 4, then you will be getting two twos are 4 here, and then two say nines are 18, and then 1 0 2 5s are 10, and then again 0 you will be getting, and then again you can further divide it by 2 because this is a even number. So you can see that year 1900 is also a leap year from this point of view, but actually year 1900 is not a leap year. So what is the actual logic or the format of leap year? The format of leap year is that if any year is divisible by 4, then 400 sorry, if a year is directly divisible by 400, then it's a leap year. And if a year is divisible by 4 but not divisible by 100, then in that case we will call that year as leap year. Now what is the logic behind it? Now as far as the century year is concerned, what is century year? Century year means year. If you talk about year 2000, then year 2000 is a century year. Then if I talk about another century year, and that says century year is 1900, so 1900 is also a century year. So another century year if I take, then it is year 1700 is also a century year. If you take another one, then year 1600 is also a century year. So year 1600 is century year, year 1500 is also a century year. You can see here that year 1500 is also a century year. Year 1400 is also a century year. Similarly, year 1300 if I talk, or year 1200 if I talk, all these are century years. Now out of this, how many are leap years? This is actually the primary question. Now if you think, then year 2000 is actually a leap year, then year 1600 is leap year, then if I talk, then year 1200 was a leap year. Now what is the logic behind? Now you can see the clear difference here, that there is a difference of 400 years in between the century years. And as far as normal years are concerned, that is there is always a gap of 4 years, and this is how the logic is built up. That is, if a year is divisible by 400, then it means that year is a century year, and therefore that is a leap year if it is divisible. And on the other hand, if a year is divisible by 4 but not divisible by 100, so this is only for the normal years, that whether that is leap year or not. So if I write a program directly in Python, then how to write that particular program? So we can write this program in this way. Suppose if we take a variable here, and that variable is say year, and this is equal to, if I ask the user to enter a year, so I'm writing here input, and then further I'm writing enter a year, and the user will be entering 1 year here. And afterwards what I will do, I will test a condition, and the condition will be like this: if a year, I'm just putting it in parenthesis for my convenience, if you want you can always avoid it. So if a year modulus 400 is equal to 0, then this is a leap year. So if a year is divisible by 400, then this is directly a leap year. We will not do anything else. Otherwise, if a year is, so I'm writing here year is divisible by 4, that is equal to 0, and at the same time if the year is modulus 100 is not equal to 0. So if a year divided by 100 is not equal to 0, if it is not divisible by 100, then in that case we will call this one as a leap year. So we can print a message here, and that message is leap year. So you can see that we have printed a message leap year. And if this is not the case, so simply I will take one else part, and in the else part I will print a message here, and that message is not a leap year. So this is how the program can be written. So you can see that we have taken input of 1 year. Now we are testing whether the year is divisible by 400 or not. So if it is divisible by 400, then it is a leap year. It will not check this particular part, and it will print this message on screen, that is leap year. And if this condition is false, then only it will move to this particular part and will test both the condition, because we have given one AND operator in between. That is, if a year is divisible by 4 but not divisible by 100, then only it is a leap year. And if both the cases are false, then in that case only it will display not a leap year. So let us execute the program and check. So you can see your program is asking you to enter a year. So you can enter 1 year. So I am entering first of all 2004, year 2004. So you can see year 2004 was a leap year. Now again I am running the program for the second time, and again it is asking you to enter a year. I am entering year 1900. So you can see that year 1900 was not a leap year. Now again if I further execute the program and enter year 1600, then year 1600 was a leap year, and then it is displaying the message in this way, you can see. And you can test the program, and you will find that this is the logic, and this logic should be used in writing the program. I hope that you have understood this program nicely. If you like it, then subscribe my channel and press the bell icon so that you can always get the new videos in time.